Okay guys, my name is Dónall Dempsey, or Dónall Dempsey if you want the Irish. If you translate my name from the Irish, Dónall Dempsey, Dónall means world mighty or spear power, and Dempsey means the proud one. So my name actually is World Mighty Spear Power, the Proud One. Call me by my name or die on. It used to be terrible. My mother used to call me and she used to go, World Mighty Spear Power, the Proud One, you get it. With my partner Janice here, I run a gig down at Sparta's Arts. It's every Tuesday. Yeah.
Tuesday.
And if you feel that you like poetry or that you have a poem in you, it would be great if you came down and did something.
Yeah, I'm good.
Right, so I shall start. Just need to get a little bit semi-naked for this. This is a delightful little ditty called Autopsy. You made the open incision with almost clinical precision. Took the heart out, found it wanting. Took the top off the head, removed the mind. What exactly was it you expected to find? I looked at you with sad eyes that said it wouldn't have hurt half as much if you'd only waited till I was dead. Thank you. That's about the pleasures of getting dumped on Christmas Eve. Not exactly the best time to get dumped, if you're going to get dumped. This is called Crazy Loneliness Hijacks Memory of a Beautiful Girl. Crazy Loneliness hijacks memory of a beautiful girl. Last night I missed you so much, I made love to your nightdress passionately. Now your nightdress hides from me, slinks under covers and pillows, avoids my eyes. I can't take another night without you. Your nightie can't take another night with me. I am holding your dresses hostage, threatening them with kisses, caresses if they make one false move. Your other clothes tremble in the wardrobe. Come back to me. Thank you. Keeping on the clothes theme, this is called Clothes Have No Memory. Did you dress yourself this morning? You did. And that black t-shirt said, no, that's just a figment of your fragmented imagination, I'm afraid. Clothes have no memory. Your most prized dress must confess that it cannot remember the swell of your breast, the rise and fall of your breathing. Clothes have no memory. It is winter now and your summer dress has totally forgot the sheer sunny shockiness of being underneath it all absolutely knickerless. Kisses like butterflies alighting high, and your inner thigh. Oh, there we go there. Clothes have no memory. Your bra, unhooked, unhinged, cannot really recall the thrill of it all as my hands with each caress create your breasts. Clothes have no memory. Clothes have no memory, but I do. Thank you. I spoke about getting dumped at Christmas Eve. I gave her all my nice presents and she took them, and then she gave me one tiny little present, and it was a pillow slip and a sheet. As a little sheet. And I thought, oh. So this, if you pardon the expression, is called spilt milk. On the first day of Xmas, my true love swore at me, I don't want to be your fucking partridge in your fucking pear tree. So Merry Christmas, baby, and a Happy New Year. Oh, and Happy St. Patrick's Day when you get there. I want you out of my hair. There, there, she said, bye-bye. Like a little child, I curled up and cried. Believe me, if I could have died, I would have died. After that, I didn't believe in Santa Claus no more, or the Easter Bunny, or the Tooth Fairy, or others of such ilk. I know it's no use, but I still cry over my spilt milk. Thank you. Happier times. This is called When They Made You, They Broke the Mold. I sit and gaze, amazed, as you create a rubber mold of your vulva. I ask you, you ask me what I think. I blink and grin, it's something else, but what's it for? It's for you, because I love all the things that you do to it. I smile, well, all right. For years your masterpiece held pride of place upon our mantelpiece, created heated debate over how much is too much or how far is too far, as this gentleman said here. People were often affronted, but you, being you, as was your wont, proudly declared, I am not ashamed of my cunt. Years later we broke up and it ended up in an attic, neatly packaged and covered with dried wild flowers. I wrote to ask you if you wanted your vulva back. You wrote back and said, oh yes please, in big, bold, capital letters. And so, like the Rosetta Stone, it was returned to its original owner with a little note attached that simply said, thank you for the gift of this and for loaning it to me for all these years. It was greatly loved and greatly missed, and sealed with love in a single kiss. I can remember the poems, but I can't remember the set list. The last time, and it was a very long time ago, that the band had to stop and I had to go on. I hate being in that position altogether. Was a very young Sinead O'Connor, and she was taking her time getting off the stage, and I was thinking, and she had a lot more hair, and I didn't know who she was. As fame would have it, I subsequently, unbeknownst to myself, my other claim to fame was that I once babysat for Sinead O'Connor's aunt's dog. So that Sinead O'Connor thing just running through everything like that. Admittedly, it's bad to go on after a great band like that. It's not as bad as a gig I had in a former church, and I had to go on after the burlesque act. And they were still saying, get your kid off and stuff like that. And I was thinking, this is one bad kid. Alright, this is called Preserve. Alright, this is a poem called Preserve. Tongues stained with blackberries, we collect kisses, falling into ditches, being stung by nettles. Your dress snags on a briar, and you cry out in mock horror. I cut my way through the tangle of thorns as if I were your prince. Charmingly, you undo the buttons of your dress as you step out of your dress, as if you were stepping out of yourself. Your dress hangs like a chrysalis. You let down your golden hair and we make love then and there. A tractor and some cows go by. We laugh and try to hide. The sun beats down on my bum. We giggle and come, return to the big old dirty town and turn our blackberry picking days into luscious winter jam.
Yes. Yes. You remember that.
It says, kiss, blue book. Blue book. This used to have a very long title. It used to be a 5-minute interactive audience introduction and utilising members of the audience in embarrassing ways. And you'd be glad to know that I'm not going to do the long one. I'm going to do the short title. Yes. Say that was about 5. Like 5 of a second. So much improved. It would have involved embarrassing this guy, and possibly you. So, and I saw you, can't do that. So, the kiss. Too shy to buy a real vibrator. You told me that you like to masturbate with a, how can I put this kinder up? A pepper pot grinder. I grinned, that's great. You said a female friend did not approve. I said, don't mind her. The wheels of God grind exceedingly small, and you, like God, move in mysterious ways, unknown to man or woman, your wonders to perform. I winked, it's cool, whatever turns you on. Still, I brought you to Soho and bought you your first real vibrator. After all, you know, that's what friends are for. Also, a children's book entitled Mrs. Pepperpot to the Rescue. You almost wet yourself with laughter and kissed me softer than you had ever kissed me before. Sorry, it was miles. Now, whenever an over-enthusiastic Italian waiter approaches with his enormous hard-on pepper pot grinder grater, inquiring whether Sir would like more pepper on it, you always come maliciously. Hey. Next poem is a poem called Snowfalls. She wakes to a morning with no reason for living, cries in the mirror to be forgiven. Puts on her makeup, takes off her clothes, sits there and bleeds until she can't feel the blood in her veins runs cold. The cat cries to be fed, the batteries in her Walkman go dead, the Rachmaninoff stops. A letter she will never read drops on the welcome mat. Somewhere a mobile rings and stops. A member of a minor political party looking for her vote rings her doorbell twice, slips on the ice and ruins his coat, curses. A man laughs at another man's joke. It's a big laugh, he's a big bloke. Laughter invades the square. There's a chill in the air. Her best friend calls for her to go on a blind date. She doesn't hear. Snow, snow, snow falls. Thank you. Alright, we get on to a haiku. This is a haiku called Oh Dog New Tricks. It was my daughter's 3rd year on this earth, and she had many of our little peers around for the fact. They were going absolutely bananas like you lot were going when all the drinks were spilling and stuff like that. And I thought, I'm going to have to go in there and stop this. What the God's name are they doing? And I just made up my mind to go in there and stop this noise, when it all went totally quiet. And whereas I was frightened by the noise, I was now frightened by the quiet. And I thought I'm going to have to go in there and see what's the reason for this quietness. Just before I could go in, they all burst into the room and they all went, and they basically said this haiku to me. It's called Oh Dog New Tricks. The dog's in the loo! We was teaching him to pee and he just fell in. Thank you. It happened to be a poor little Yorkie. If you ever see a Yorkie drowned in a loo and scrambling up the porcelain trying to get out, it is a sad. But this is called One Small Step. Anybody who has little girls will be familiar with this. It's called One Small Step. Vest on, inside out. 2 legs in 1 knicker hole. Shoes on, back to front. I dressed myself, by myself. So I see. So I see. Tilly was a very sensitive child, and she said that she could smell colours, so I believed her. This is called the smell of purple. She says she can smell yellow, she says she can smell blue, despite not being able to spell either colour. Yellow smells the same as blue, like a wet kitty drying by the fire. Red smells like mummy when she kisses. Her kisses smell different when she kisses you. Then she smells like flames with little orange tips. Purple is my favourite smell. It smells just like a magic spell. I kiss her goodnight like violet, only lighter, with little flecks of purple scattered here. We were a very naked family. Mother, father, little girl used to go around in the nip and think no more of it. Tilly would scramble into her bed at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. To her, we were just this fleshy sort of mountain of flesh. And she just scale the summit of us and dive into the valley between us. And to do that, she might step on my wife's left breast and my right testicle. I don't know if you ever had your right testicle trodden upon, had you? I wouldn't advise it. You know, you might think, God, I'd love to know what it... No, don't even go there, it's terrible. Anyway, that's got nothing to do with this whatsoever. This is another morning where Tilly is going to awaken us. And we've been to a cocktail party in Ollie. And we are very, very much the worse for wear. Tilly is still going to wake us up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So this is called I Feel Pretty. Oh, so pretty. I am awake, covered in glorious glitter, smelling strongly of PVA glue, sticking to my cheek, very hungover. I'm covered in blue, orange, red, yellow feathers. A bubble recently blown perched upon my nose. I still half comatose. Tiny bubbles travel amongst my curls, as through a bigger bubble brightly, nestling neatly over my right eye, I observe my tiny daughter purse her lips and kiss more bubbles into being. Dylan, I force my lips, still frozen in sleep, to somehow speak. What you do? Even my syntax and sentence structure is shot. She smiles sweetly. I'm pitying. Thank you. Let's see what we got next. Alright. 2 more haikus. This is called Handyman. I know, haikus don't usually have titles, so sue me. They also don't have audience participation. 17 syllables in a haiku, 575. I only want audience participation for 2 of those syllables. The first 2 syllables, come on, you can do that. You can do it, can't you? I'm betting on that, right? Alright. When I say the first 2 syllables, I want you to shout it back at me, alright? Handyman. That's not it. Handyman. Party!
Party!
Jesus, what kind of parties do you go to? We'll try that again. Party!
Party!
That's much better. And your boo pops out. And I pop it back. I'm handy like that. Okay. This is called abracadabra. Like a magician, you pull your bra from your sleeve. You can see I'm pleased. Thank you. Tilly was supposed to go to bed, and I was supposed to look at a film about the life of the day of a mafia killer. They had him locked up, and he was just calmly explaining in a matter-of-fact way his job about killing people and what it was like and what he did and stuff like that. And there was another program about international spies, and spies are just people who kill other spies, because if they don't, the other spy will kill them. So it's dog eat dog. Very cruel, ruthless world altogether. The mafia killer sat at the table and he said, how do you kill people? And I thought, well, how do you see how he kills people? I was imagining all sorts of terrible things. He said, I don't do nothing to them. And he said, well, what do you do then? He says, I tie them up, I leave them in a cave above the Hollywood Hills, I leave them for a week, and the rats and rodents and whoever finds them eats them alive. I video it and see their screams come back. And I thought, that is one horrible way of dying. And just at that juncture, Tilly came down and said, Dolly isn't sleepy. She wanted a drink of water. And I thought, so, I had to turn off the telly and see the rest of the program. And her world of fairy stories and nursery rhymes sort of cross-pollinated with the mafia program. And it came into this sort of ruthless hybrid with what I call nursery crimes. So this is called Up Above the World So High. The 3 blind mice, the 3 blind mice. They didn't tell you the same thing twice. And it wasn't very nice. And they wasn't blind. See, that was just a blind. They wore shades to hide their eyes. Maestros with a switchblade knife. They ran all the vice and any opposition had already lost their lives. But fuck it, lately the farmer's wife, it was rumoured she'd done the old man in and taken over everything and had now begun to muscle in on their territory. They didn't like it. They weren't used to being told what they could and couldn't do. Confrontation and respect was due. Both boobs bore a tattoo that proclaimed in Latin, trouble and strife and fuck you. Her other tattoo just above her pubic hair stated in mock Gothic script, abandon hope, all ye who enter here. One night, the farmer's wife decided to separate the men from the mice, had them scrubbed out by a psycho known locally only as Slasher Gore. Now the 3 blind mice don't see so no more. See, I'm dead, ain't good for the sight. Is that right? Ain't that fuck? Deal with it, boys. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, meet the new big mama of vice, the farmer's wife, just like it spells out in nasty neon light, twinkling, twinkling, obscure in the stars. Thank you. Little book, little book.
It's not just one. You applaud it and encourage it.
Look, little book's full of her. This is called Feline Friends. I came home and my wife was sleeping naked with the cat. She do. And I had to go to work and she was fast asleep and I wrote this poem for her. Curled up on the couch with a curled up kitten cradled in your lap. Both of you totally out of this world. I smile at such a lovely double take, tiptoe around the flat, afraid that you should wake. I kiss both your noses, and you both sniff and shift, adopt new synchronized poses. I can only love and sit and watch as one of you makes a move that the other will match. I take a Polaroid as I am leaving, placing it between your toes where, on awakening, it will be seen to show you how very beautiful you've been. When my wife and I first moved in, we had nothing except ourselves and a book of Shakespeare. And this is called My Love Is As a Fever, Longing Still. All that long hot summer through, I shared a common cold with you that seemed to last forever. Whether sharing the same germs, dreams, bacteria and whatever, it seemed to bind us so very close together. If this was love, it couldn't get no better. And all my heart could say, even to this day, is bless you, bless you, bless you. This is called Passing Strange, another Shakespearean reference. Othello tells Desdemona that it was passing strange, more than strange. Rose arose and having risen was angry. You never call me by my name, only love and darling. A rose by any other name would smell as sweet, I quoted. That's neat, she sweetly smiled. That's Shakespeare, I whispered in her ear and kissed her sweet, sweet smile. Each reflected in the other's eye. Oh, quote me that kiss again, she sighed. How I do love thee, I cried. Let me count the kisses, she replied. My lovely, darling Rose. This is called Doing Fine. I told you that I loved you. I told you what I was going to do to you when I got you all to myself. I told you. There was a loud cackling on the line. I think you got the wrong number, love, but keep talking, you're doing fine. This is called Superman. I wanted to be your superhero, but all the best ones were already taken. Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, oh how they roll off the tongue. Doctor Strange or Daredevil or Green Lantern even. So I had to become my own one. Now I hear you, kissless and cuddless. Cry, but have no fear, for I am here, created by your own longing, a superhero to suit you. Yes, it's Mr. Kiss Kiss and Cuddles Man to the rescue!
My hero! Oh.
Where did we go? Oh, yes. I met the lovely woman there. I'm not just kissing anybody. In Stratford-upon-Avon. I got paralysed. A kid had hit me in school. I got paralysed for 5 years. I had to learn how to talk, how to blink, all that sort of stuff, how to eat in public again. And I had 5 years of absolute agony. And I was just about to go back to Ireland. I was one day about going back from Ireland, and somebody asked me to go to a poetry thing up in Stratford-upon-Avon. And the organiser of the event told me that she was going to make all the guys come in kilts. So I arrived in the full regalia, and nobody else did. And it was about over 80 degrees, I was sweltering, and I took off everything except the kilt, of course. We had to have some decency. So the unfortunate thing, it was my worst fashion mistake. The unfortunate thing was I hadn't expected to meet this lovely lady. I hadn't expected to fall in love. I hadn't expected to be kissed. I hadn't expected to be kissed in that way. So I was on to a hiding to nothing. Now, gentlemen, if you have a penis and blue jeans, you know that you either votes left or right. But in a kilt, the only way is up, baby. So, this is called Akai But No. It's so hard to hide an erection in a kilt. It's so bleeding obvious as to just what it is. It's here because it's here because it's here. It's so hard to hide an erection in a kilt, but it's attempting to be an upstanding member of society. And then there's that embarrassing interlude waiting for it to wilt. But that's that's neither here nor there. It's so hard to hide an erection in a kilt. Here, here, order, order. It's so hard to hide an erection in a kilt. You think, is there no end to it? One doesn't have to advertise or neon sign it, and it's impossible to doubt, deny, or disguise it. It's here because it's there and it ain't going nowhere. It's better to come clean face up and be a man about it. Yes, it is hard to hide. You try it. An erection in a kilt. So I whipped it off and threw it carelessly as could be over my left shoulder. Your dress fell to the floor. There was more, but I thought it best to skip all the rude, crude, pornographic bits. Suffice it to say, we let nothing get in our way, reducing the distance between us. You and very happy Venus, I and very happy Venus. This is called Pink High Heel Shoes. I remember drinking pink champagne from your pink high heel shoes. I remember making love with you wearing only your pink high heel shoes. I remember how your pink high heel shoes became ashtrays, candle holders, where you stored your hash, deadly weapons in a row. Ow. And you asked me if I remember your pink high heel shoes. Do I? I do. Thank you. I'll finish with this one. It's called a Scaelga, which means in Irish. My wife and I were longing to have a baby, and although we had much fun practicing, no baby had yet materialized. And we went for useless test after useless test, and I know this is probably too much information. But our last test, the only test we hadn't done was to see whether the fallopian tubes were clear. And we went for the test and it was cancelled for 6 months. And we went for the next one and it was cancelled for 6 months. About 1.5 years of cancelled tests and we fell pregnant. My wife was Finnish and I'm not a native Irish speaker. But all the little scraps and fragments of Irish that I knew floated back to me. And I used to stitch them together in a sort of oral patchwork quilt and sing. I used to sleep down by my wife's belly and I used to sing songs to her unborn child in Irish. So the first part of this is a lullaby in Irish. I'll translate as it goes. It's called a Scaelga in Irish. Dún the Sula, close your eyes. Cuddle the law, my graw sieve. Sleep until day, my gentle love. Cuddle the solve. Sleep peacefully, peacefully. I roig an galaxy is rocky and green shoffi. This moon will rise, this sun will set. Aragus gra goni. Love and care always. Got iha has got law, got laws, got iha. Every night, every day, every night. My plurine, my storine, my mooring, my little flower, my little treasure, my little darling. Akanish, but now, cuddle gasov the sieve, sleep peacefully, gently, go Fáinne and lay, till the break of day, the Misha or the Tay, with me by your side. Losing our baby late into the night, holding this little thing that only attempted to be human, unable to let go, I clasped the fetus tightly in my hand and buried it in the dawn of our local park under a recently planted red rose bush. In my grief, flower and baby became one, and night after night I climbed over high railings and even higher stars to talk to her in the dark in Irish. To sing my love was like a red, red rose, or cry, or cry. Almost got arrested one night by an Irish cop, drawn to the sound of Irish emerging from darkness. Guess he let me go because it wouldn't look good on a charge sheet. The defendant was talking and crying to a flower in Irish. Isht, isht, listen, listen. Dinna egen lechila. Someone is crying in a darkness, in his darkness. Phil, Aruno, Phil Aruno is not in the room. Laram Kushla Stone is chipping to and glow.